Newly released body cam footage details a nearly 2 hours long exchange between police and Senator Mike Bohacek, and that his blood alcohol level was 0.28%, 3 times the legal limit.
Republican state senator from Indiana, Mike Bohacek, has said that he is going to vote against Donald Trump's redistricting efforts in Indiana because, and you're not going to believe this, guys, Donald Trump called Minnesota Governor Mike Walz the R word. So let's just get this straight. In the midst of Democrats redrawing congressional maps all over the place, this state senator is using Donald Trump's use of the R word as a justification to vote against a congressional map that favors Republican Party winning in the midterms. How does this make sense? But ever since he came out and said he is voting no for these redistricting efforts, a couple things have come out that are very, very interesting. Number one, he not too long ago got a DUI and it's on video. And also his wife has some very interesting ties to a company that received a lot of federal funding that is being targeted in this proposed redistricting effort. So why exactly is Mike Bohacek voting against Donald Trump's attempt to redistrict in Indiana? Is it because he doesn't like Donald Trump's use of the R word, or is it for some other reasons? But this is coming from the Gateway Pundit. So this Bohacek guy has a daughter who has Down syndrome, and he took to Facebook to announce he'd vote no on any redistricting push until Trump, quote, proves his policies and behavior deserve a congressional majority. His offense over the word could help to derail a golden opportunity for Republicans to solidify their House majority ahead of the 2026 midterms. Now, take a look at what Mike Bohacek wrote. This is what he said. He said, many of you have asked my position on redistricting. I have been an unapologetic advocate for people with intellectual disabilities since the birth of my daughter. So how do these things connect? How does what Donald Trump is trying to do in Indiana, how does that connect to a word that he used to describe a horrific governor in Minnesota, and a word that is every bit the perfect description of this guy, by the way? I mean, let's all be honest with ourselves. Mike Walz is definitely the R word. I don't say that word on YouTube because, I don't know, I think it might deboost videos, but let's just be perfectly honest. So this fake outrage does not make any sense from Mike Bohacek, but this is what he continues on to say. Those of you that don't know me or my family might not know that my daughter has Down syndrome. This is not the first time our president has used these insulting and derogatory references, and his choices of words have consequences. I will be voting no on redistricting. Perhaps he can use the next 10 months to convince voters that his policies and behavior deserve a congressional majority. So let's just get this straight. He's voting no on redistricting, something that's going to help Republicans win because Donald Trump used a mean word. But the really bad part about this is that this state senator, in voting against Donald Trump's efforts to redraw these congressional maps, is seriously putting in jeopardy Republicans' chance of winning in the midterms. This is what Mediaite says. His break comes at a tense moment for Indiana Republicans who are weighing whether to redraw the state's congressional map just 4 years after completing the once-a-decade process. Trump has been urging GOP-led states to re-engineer districts ahead of the 2026 midterms, hoping to secure a House majority that his advisors warn could slip away. So we have a very slim House majority, and if these congressional maps are not redrawn, this could make it completely go away entirely. It goes on to say the pressure has grown unusually direct. House Speaker Mike Johnson is set to hold a Saturday conference call with Indiana House Republicans after insisting publicly he had no role in state-level efforts. Johnson has already phoned Senate President pro tempore Roderick Bray, whose caucus remains divided on whether to proceed. Even with national figures leaning in, the Senate appears short of the votes needed. Multiple Republicans familiar with the count told Politico on Friday. But it does appear as if Donald Trump saying this R word is not the real reason why Mike Bohacek does not want to vote for the congressional redistricting. This was something that was found online, and it is glaringly obvious now why he is voting against Donald Trump. Check this out. Indiana Republican State Senator Michael Bohacek's wife, Melissa Bohacek, is an executive at Paladin, a nonprofit that received about $1.5 million in funding from Indiana Democrat Congressman Frank Mrvan, whose district was targeted in the proposed redistricting plan. So that could be the real reason, the smoking gun, why Mike Bohacek does not want to vote for this congressional redistricting. He is looking out for himself. He's looking out for his wife. He's looking out for his friend. Bohacek recently said on social media that the reason why he would vote no on redistricting was President Trump's use of the word, the R word. And this is Mike Bohacek's wife. She is the development and marketing officer. And here is the announcement. U.S. Representative Frank Mrvan announces $1.525 million in federal funding for Paladin to expand disabilities services. And then if you go down here in the article, Mrvan, to a gathered crowd, credited Indiana State Senator Mike Bohacek, who advocated for Paladin since the congressman's election, for bringing the facility's need to his attention. He also thanked the LaPorte County community and Melissa Bohacek, Paladin's marketing and development officer. But the real kicker is Mike Bohacek really is in no position to do this. He was caught driving drunk and he was arrested and he was charged with the DUI. And this was all caught on video. Take a look at this.
Welcome back. Newly released body cam footage details a nearly 2 hours long exchange between police and Senator Mike Bohacek. So take a look. Michigan City police say he was driving 70 miles per hour in a 45 zone and that his blood alcohol level was 0.28%. That's more than 3 times the legal limit. The senator was driven home by the officer and not arrested until months later. But that's normal. That's actually due to a law prohibiting the arrest of a General Assembly member during the legislative session. Here's one of the officers after realizing who they pulled over.
They're in session. I don't think we can. Oh, really? Wow. Question for you, Captain. So I just pulled over a state senator. We got a call for a possible...
The senator was pulled over after someone said he stumbled out of his car at a fast food restaurant. In the body cam, he admits to officers that he, quote, probably should have used Uber Eats. Court records show he accepted a plea deal in August. For this full story, go to our website at WNU.com.
So on a technicality, he wasn't arrested, but he was arrested months later. But he did, in fact, accept a plea deal, but it does not look like it's going to amount to much. The deal calls for Bohacek to pay $110.50 in fines, $189.50 in court costs, and $200 for countermeasure fees. He was also ordered to complete a substance abuse evaluation and participate in therapy through the LaPorte County Alcohol and Drug Services Program known as LADS. And it looks like the judge of the neighboring Porter County initially imposed a 365-day jail sentence, but it was completely suspended, and instead he will serve 365 days of informal probation per the plea agreement. So he's not getting any jail time, even though it was initially imposed on him, and he's only being issued with a 20-day license suspension. But what do you guys think of Indiana Republican State Senator Mike Bohacek saying that he's voting against Donald Trump's redistricting efforts? Do you think it's really because Donald Trump said the R word? Do you think he's really that offended? Is he that much of a snowflake? Or does it have something to do with his wife and his buddy? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.